Hi guys, I'm coming to you with a special update today because it's my birthday. Yay! And this particular birthday is a bit bittersweet. Sweet because, presents, but bitter because I should have been celebrating this birthday and my last birthday in Disney World, but the great unpleasantness has put a stop to that. So I thought this would be a great opportunity to hop on and give you a little trip update that I wasn't able to give you last time. If you remember, I had just cancelled the trip that I should be on right now. Instead of cancelling, I'd had to rebook. So even though I'd booked a new exciting trip, it was all kind of caught up in the cancellation thing and it just wasn't fun to talk about. I needed a bit of time to digest it. Well, I have had a bit of time to digest it and think about it and imagine myself there, and I am now so excited. I'm ready to tell you all about it. I suppose the first thing you need to know about any trip is, when are we going? We'd always said that if this May trip got cancelled, because we all knew there was a possibility it would get cancelled, that we would rebook for October or November. But from stalking the DVC website on a regular basis, I'd known for quite a while that availability this autumn was pretty much zilch. So we'd started to look at other options. The most obvious one was the last 2 weeks of the summer holidays, end of August into the beginning of September. We'd always previously discounted August because A, it's just too darn hot. B, the flights are really expensive that time of year. So it had never really been on our radar. But it did have some positives. First of all, it is this maniac's birthday at the end of August. Secondly, when you get into September, if you're booking on DVC points, the point rates go right down. As soon as you hit the 1st of September, it goes from like 23 points a night to sort of 16 points a night. So if we straddled the end of August and the first week of September, we would save a lot of points on that first week in September. So we thought, what the heck, we can take the heat. Let's go for it. And that brings us on to the flights. So we had our flights cancelled by British Airways in May. We didn't cancel them, they did. And when that happens, you're able to move onto a different flight at no extra cost. One of the reasons I mentioned to you why we didn't normally go in August was it was so expensive. In actual fact, it was £800 to £1,000 more expensive for the three of us. But we didn't have to pay that because we just moved the flights that we already had. So we got like for like cost-wise. When I look at flights, I always try to get them as cheap as possible, which often means going on strange days of the week, kind of maybe travelling on a Tuesday, coming back on a Thursday, this kind of thing. But because it didn't really matter when we flew, we knew we'd got our price locked in. We were able to get a nice sweet Sunday to Saturday time frame. So now it gets exciting. Where are we going to stay? When I got to this point, I had no preconceived ideas of which resorts I wanted to stay in. We had the DVC points. We were just going to see what the availability was. I think we were in the 4-month mark when we booked this. So it's going to be difficult to get availability anyway. So I typed in our dates, which was 13 nights, and up popped 12 nights available. Animal Kingdom Lodge, Kidani Village with a savannah view. I couldn't believe it. Now, this wasn't something I'd gone on there going, oh, it's always been my dream to get a savannah view at Animal Kingdom Lodge. But heck, once it was there, I thought, I'll take that. So all of a sudden, I started to get this idea of a holiday, all African, savannah-ish. But we've still got one day unavailable. And luckily, it was the first night that was unavailable. We could get that solid 12 nights. We just needed to get the one at the beginning. So this brought me back to an idea I'd had sort of last year. It might be a nice start to a holiday to stay one night in Bay Lake Tower, because usually we can't be getting up and going to parks as soon as we arrive. We've got a 5-hour time difference. We need to get to bed. But if you are staying at a hotel 10 minutes walk away from the Magic Kingdom. So I got married to this idea, went on and checked availability. And there was none for that night, but there was some for the second night. So I was so in love with this idea, I booked that second night. This has now taken us down to 11 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge. And I booked the first night at Saratoga Springs. And I thought, you know what, same deal. We're close to Disney Springs there. We could have a meal the first night. It'll be good. But I was still kind of set on getting that first night. So I kept checking the website. The third night became available and I thought, do you know what? 2 nights is better than 1. I did that. Then we're down to 10 nights and 2 nights and 1 night there. 1, 2, 10. And then the 4th night became available. Didn't do that. The first night became available, yes. Looked around a bit and then the 4th night came available. And before you know it, this 1 night at Bay Lake Tower had turned into 4 nights at Bay Lake Tower and 9 at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So it's turned into a proper split stay now. And the problem was, that 4th day when we were meant to be moving, that was Bonnie's birthday. And I thought, I don't know if she'll want to be shifting places and we'd have to rush her with any presents that we give her to get them packed up to Centre Bell services. So kept stalking the website and just a couple of days ago I got that 1 extra night at Bay Lake Tower. So this has turned into a proper split stay now. The downside of that is when we thought we were just doing 1 night and then move, I wouldn't have unpacked our bags. We would just be able to pick up and go. This way we are going to have to do the whole unpack, repack, shift, unpack, repack thing. But weighing up the pros and cons, I am so delighted to have that first half of our holiday on the monorail loop and then the second half of the holiday in the seclusion and African wilderness of Animal Kingdom Lodge that I don't mind doing an hour's packing in the middle of it. To summarise, we're going to be flying direct from Gatwick to MCO before spending 5 nights in Bay Lake Tower at the Contemporary Resort in a Lakeview room on the monorail loop, walking distance from the Magic Kingdom where we will celebrate Bonnie's 7th birthday before moving to Animal Kingdom Lodge Kidani Village for 8 nights in a Savannah View room. Oh my goodness, could this be more idyllic? And do you know what? In retrospect, I think it's been a little bit of a blessing in disguise that we have moved this holiday from May to August. I've been checking the weather this week and Orlando has been having a major heat wave. When it's not quite the height of summer, they've had 5 days in a row of 36-degree heat. Well, that's too rich for my blood. It might end up being like that in August as well, but kind of expected it in August. Wouldn't have been too pleased in May. Almost every single day following the Walt Disney World news, they are removing restrictions that have been in place because of the pandemic. Masks outside are no longer required. Plexiglass is disappearing. Park capacity is increasing. So every day there's more and more hope that there'll be a semblance of normality come August. Another thing I'm really excited about is they've announced their replacement for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, the Boo Bash. Gotta be careful how you say that. Will start 10th of August, so that will be going on while we're there. And because we're staying so close to the Magic Kingdom, that might be something we decide to do. And they've also brought the start date of the Epcot Food and Wine Festival forward. And these are both things we never thought we'd experience because we never planned on travelling this time of year. There is also talk of annual passes coming back mid-August. Now this is important to us because we still plan on going to celebrate my big birthday. Finishes with a 0. Next May, we will be going twice within a 12-month period, which again, we don't always do. We could upgrade our current 14-day tickets to annual pass tickets, meaning that we've prepaid for May and we've got a bit cheaper and we're getting food and merch discounts. I might talk about that more on another video, so if you're interested in Walt Disney World annual passes and how they can benefit UK residents, just let me know in the comments. Now don't get me wrong, I am realistic and I have prepared myself for disappointment. In 2020 and 2021, you have to accept the fact that things can change at any moment. And that leads me on to my other trip announcement, because I did a bit of a silly thing. During the time frame that one trip was getting cancelled and I was booking the next, things were looking a little bit bleak in terms of borders opening. Disneyland Paris was still shut. I was Disney hungry. At that exact point, they released sales for the Disney Cruise UK staycation on the Magic. and I booked it. Hence the ears. Can you see them? So I'm pulling faces as if this is all bad. I mean, obviously, I just can't wait. We've never been on a Disney cruise. I can't wait to experience all the magic, all the strange, wonderful things that you can find there. The reason I'm being a bit is because I typically put a lot of planning into Disney holidays, not only in terms of the holidays, but in the budgeting, the saving, moving funds around, figuring out the best and cheapest way to do things. And in this instance, I didn't do that. I just booked it. So we've got 3 nights sailing on the Disney Magic from Liverpool in July in an inside standard cabin. I can't believe it. It happened without me. You're going to hear me talking more about that as well. I think that brings me to the end of this video. It's all the things to be grateful for. But for now, I'll see you soon. Goodbye.